You're tuning in for a quick rundown of the big AI news hitting the headlines right now.
Yeah, there's a lot happening.
We've basically sifted through tech news, research papers, blogs, all that stuff to give you the essentials.
Trying to cut through the noise, right. So let's dive straight into the key developments.
Okay, first up, OpenAI. They've rolled out new models, O3 and O4 Mini.
Right. And these are getting attention for how they handle multimodal reasoning.
Multimodal meaning
Yeah.
different types of data together.
Exactly. What's really notable is they seem much better at tackling complex tasks that involve, math, coding, scientific analysis. It's about understanding information from different sources, text, images, data, in a more unified way.
So it could really change how AI helps with research, maybe.
Potentially, yeah. Imagine it understanding lab results and the related scientific papers, like, simultaneously.
Interesting. And we're already seeing some slightly unusual uses pop up, like this reverse location search thing with ChatGPT.
Ah, yeah, TechCrunch covered that. People uploading photos and the AI figuring out where they were taken.
Which points to better visual understanding, I guess.
It's more than just recognizing objects. It's about the AI sort of reasoning about the context in the image, like the geography.
Yeah.
Pretty clever.
And for developers, the API can now give a summary of its reasoning.
Yeah, optionally, it gives you a peek into how the model got its answer.
That seems important for trust.
Definitely. But you do need your organization verified to get access to that feature right now.
Okay. And there was also a comment from Ted Sanders at OpenAI about wanting a stable developer experience.
Yeah, they're aiming to, minimize disruption when they update models.
Which developers probably appreciate.
Absolutely. Stability is, it's crucial if you're building applications on their platform. Predictability helps a lot.
Okay, moving on to AI agents. It feels like they're evolving, right? Beyond just simple assistants.
Oh, for sure. The trend is towards more autonomous systems, systems that can pursue goals on their own.
Like Professor Salakudinov's work at CMU.
Exactly. He's working on multimodal agents that can, say, navigate websites, handle online tasks for you. Imagine an AI booking your entire trip, research, flights, hotel, the lot.
That sounds amazing, but also complex. Doesn't that run into problems like errors piling up?
It certainly can. That's the exponential error compounding issue. A small error at one step can cascade, leading to failure down the line.
So how do they fix that?
Well, one approach being explored is tree search. It lets the agent sort of backtrack if it hits a dead end, try a different path, like how we might browse a confusing website.
Makes sense. And there's this Insta project, too, towards internet-scale training.
Right, Insta. The idea there is using language models themselves to generate tons of realistic training tasks across loads of websites.
So less need for humans to manually create all that training data.
Pretty much. It's about scaling up the training process.
But despite all this potential, companies are still making mistakes adopting agents, right? The Newfar Gaspard pointed some out.
Yeah, like having unrealistic expectations or no clear strategy. It's vital to know what the agents can actually do and set achievable goals.
And Forrester is warning about risks in the software supply chain.
As these agents get embedded deeper into business software, the potential security vulnerabilities grow too. It's a big consideration.
Interestingly, though, Gradient Flow noted that actual deployment in live enterprise systems is still pretty limited.
Yeah, there's definitely a gap between the excitement and the reality of getting these things working reliably in complex business environments.
Okay, shifting gears to AI and software development. Big news possibly brewing with OpenAI. An acquisition.
Ah, yeah, the windsurf rumor. An AI coding startup. The figure mentioned was around $3 billion.
Wow, that's huge.
It would be their biggest acquisition, yeah. Shows they're serious about strengthening their hand in AI coding tools.
And JetBrains isn't standing still either, right? They launched unified AI tools.
That's right, with a new coding agent called Junie, and they've got a free tier too.
So Junie helps programmers code.
Yeah, suggests code, answers questions, proposes improvements. It's part of that wider trend of AI becoming a developer's assistant.
But is AI ready to completely replace programmers yet? I keep seeing articles saying not quite.
Well, the consensus seems to be no, not for serious, complex tasks, at least not yet. AI can automate a lot, and it's a great helper. But that nuanced problem solving, the creativity, that still needs humans.
Right. Okay, what about other applications? DocuSign is planning something with contracts.
Yeah, AI-powered contract agents. The idea is they'll analyze agreements, flag risks, point out important clauses.
That could save a lot of time in legal review.
Potentially, yeah. Streamline things quite a bit.
And in medicine. something called eCraft.
EatCraft, right. That's an AI model for generating human antibodies for drug discovery. It uses a single architecture for different tasks, like improving existing antibodies.
So making drug development faster.
That's the hope, a more unified, efficient approach to antibody engineering.
And closer to home, maybe Iksha Labs in India, an AI agent for hiring.
hmm They unveiled one aimed at streamlining the hiring process, and they're reporting potentially big cuts in operational costs.
Shows AI moving into HR functions too.
Definitely. Automating and maybe improving efficiency there.
And with all this AI-generated stuff, how do we know it's accurate? There's a tool being developed for citation validation.
Yes, using NVIDIA NIM. It aims to automatically check if citations are accurate.
That feels crucial, especially for research.
Absolutely. Ensuring source reliability is fundamental. Automating that check could be very valuable.
Okay, let's talk infrastructure and money. Investment seems strong.
Very strong. AI companies pulled in at least $52 billion in global VC funding just in Q1 this year.
Wow, that shows a lot of confidence.
It really does. Continued strong belief in AI's transformative potential.
But there are geopolitical tensions too, especially around chips, right? With the U.S. restricting NVIDIA exports to China.
Yeah, the H20 AI chip specifically, that led to a significant financial charge for NVIDIA, and it highlights the strategic competition over advanced AI hardware.
And now Congress is looking into whether some chips got to China anyway, via Singapore.
Right. Concerns about NVIDIA superchips possibly reaching China's DeepSeek. It reflects ongoing efforts to control access to these high-performance resources.
Meanwhile, China's developing its own stuff. Huawei's Cloud Matrix 384.
Potentially, yeah. It's being positioned as a competitor to NVIDIA's big GB200 NVL72 system, shows China's push to build its own advanced AI infrastructure.
And elsewhere, Tech Data is partnering with NVIDIA in India.
To distribute AI solutions there. Looks like an effort to broaden AI adoption in the Indian market.
IBM's also in the mix with new models.
Yep, the Granite 3.3 series, they're calling it their most multimodal release yet. More innovation from the big players.
And Google Cloud. They announced database updates focused on AI.
At their Next 25 conference, yeah. Adding AI features to AlloyDB, a MongoDB-compatible API for Firestore. Basically making their cloud platform better suited for AI apps.
Okay, let's switch to the ethical side. This is fascinating. Philosopher Peter Singer launched an AI chatbot to discuss ethics.
Yeah, it's a really interesting approach. You can discuss ethical dilemmas with it, and it responds based on Singer's philosophical framework.
Like what kind of dilemmas?
Well, the examples mentioned were things like, should you tell a friend their partner is cheating? Or even the philosophical justification of outsourcing ethical discussions to an AI. It gets quite meta.
On a more government surveillance note, there was the Palantir contract with ICE.
Yes, that contract aims to enhance ICE's surveillance capabilities using AI, which naturally raises civil rights concerns for many. We're just reporting what the sources say here.
Right. And then there's Elon Musk's DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency,
Yeah.
pushing AI in government.
Yeah, using Grok, creating tools like GSII. But there are also controversies mentioned around data privacy and how quickly it's all being rolled out. Again, just laying out the reports.
It also brings up that tension between explainable AI and accurate AI, doesn't it?
It does. Especially in critical systems, you need trust. But sometimes the most accurate models are harder to explain, and vice versa. It's a tricky balance.
And OpenAI is restricting some API access now.
To verified organizations, yeah. It seems like a move to try and mitigate unsafe uses of the more advanced capabilities.
There was also some interesting research mentioned about AI learning faster if it has a drive to be understood.
Yeah, that sounds quite intriguing. Almost like giving AI a social motivation helps it learn and bond better, in a sense.
And finally, this concept of predictive multiplicity.
Right, in survival models. It highlights that even accurate models might disagree on predictions for specific individuals. That's relevant in areas like, say, predicting when a machine needs maintenance. Different models might give different timelines, even if they're generally accurate.
Okay, wow. Let's quickly touch on some key technical advances then. Word embeddings came up.
Still fundamental, yeah. It's how AI models represent words numerically to capture meaning and relationships. Crucial for understanding language.
And BitNet, a one-bit language model.
Yeah, BitNet B1.58. It's the first open source native one-bit LLM at a pretty large scale. The big deal is it performs comparably to full precision models, but uses way less resources.
More efficient AI.
Exactly. Could make powerful AI much more accessible.
And KV caching. Another efficiency trick.
Right, for speeding up LLM inference. It stores intermediate calculations, the keys and values, so the model doesn't have to recompute them constantly. Faster responses.
Then there was pixel sale, a vision model.
Yeah, a single transformer model for pixel-level visual understanding. The claim is it outperforms even larger multimodal models, potentially simplifying how we process images and video.
And taco depth, for self-driving cars, perhaps.
Could be. It's a model that fuses radar and camera data for depth estimation, showing big improvements in accuracy and speed, which are obviously critical for autonomous systems.
ReZero. That sounded like it helps AI search better.
Sort of, yeah. It's a reinforcement learning framework that essentially rewards language models for trying a search again if the first attempt fails, improves information retrieval in question answering systems.
Okay, and lastly, TSACL, for time series data.
Right. It's designed to help models learn continuously from new time series data like sensor ratings over time without forgetting what they learned before. Tackles that catastrophic forgetting problem.
Whew. Okay, so wrapping this up, we've covered a lot. Big model advancements, the rise and the challenges of AI agents, AI spreading across industries, ethical questions, and these key technical tweaks.
It's definitely a dynamic landscape, so much potential, but also evolving really, really fast, shaping technology and, well, our world pretty rapidly.
So thinking about all these different threads, the agents, the foundation models, the ethics, what do you think is the most significant societal shift we really need to start preparing for now? It feels like there's so much happening all at once.
That's a big question. It really underlines the need to keep learning, doesn't it? Understanding these developments and thinking about how they might impact your own field, your own life. It's becoming crucial for everyone, I think.